Yes, it's getting over the line, and today was a difficult game because West Ham plays not to go down, and in the end it was very tense. And once again, I would say it's defense who did the job today, like most of the time in the season, because Arsenal scores less goals in recent weeks, but they keep the defensive stability, and their goalkeeper again today made a great save. And at the end of the day, this could be a decider for the championship.
500 games now for Mikel Arteta as Arsenal player and manager, signed for £10 million in August 2011 from Everton, and 350 now as a manager on the touchline. I'm not sure any more dramatic than the final 10 minutes of this one here at the London Stadium today. Here he is with Patrick Davison.
Mikel, your 500th game representing Arsenal as a player and a manager. Can you remember one more nerve-shredding than that?
I'm going to certainly remember this day and this number. It was a roller coaster of emotions. We knew it was going to be a really tough day, fighting for their lives. We are trying to win the Premier League, so much at stake. We started the game so well. I think we had 3 big chances. We didn't put the game away, and then with the injury of Ben, we have to make a change. Then we have to adapt to that change again and make some difficult decisions. We throw everything that we had to try to win it. I think we got rewarded for that courage. Martin had an unbelievable action that helps you to win the game with Leo. And then there are 2 actions. One, obviously, the action of David, 70th minute, I think it is, 1-1, 1 against 1, and he makes an incredible save. And then is the controversy around the last disallowed goal. That is obviously a big decision. And when I had to be critical, I have been. And today I have to congratulate them, because I think you need a lot of courage and bravery to stand out, to at least give the opportunity to a referee to have a look at the action, because there is so much chaos and bodies in and around the box. But when you see the picture clearly, I think there is no question that it's a clear foul.
So, I mean, you seemed pretty clear that it was a foul. Nonetheless, do you sort of commend their decision-making under that level of, because that decision could decide things at 2 ends of the table?
Exactly. I mean, it's that's what I said, that they were very brave, at least to give the opportunity, and I think the action deserved that. And then it could have gone either way. I think, in my opinion, it's very clear. If I was in the other side, I would do the same. I think I was very clear in Madrid with certain action that we got punished as well, because there are the rules, and we ask for consistency within those rules. So, very pleased, because that was a big game to win.
In that second where the score clock does read 1-1, what is that like for you? Does your season, your career flash before your eyes?
I don't know, because there's still another 2 games to play, but we really came here to win again today. And when you throw everything and everything that you've done in the season to create those moments, and this is a scenario, I think somehow you have to get rewarded, and we certainly got.
Yeah, it was said in commentary, like to win a title, you need one of these. You know, where it looks like it might go a bit wrong with the injury, where it looks like the goal isn't coming. Your keeper makes a massive save. The controversy at the end, it just, obviously you're not going to stand in now and say, yeah, we're going to do it. But to win a title, do you need a day like this?
I mean,
and come through
you have to have the ability to win in all kind of contexts, and we have shown that throughout the season, and with the amount of games that we played and won, I think we've shown that. But the only thing that matters is now, the present, and making it happen on the day. Today, we've done it. There is 2 more to go. Now the only focus is Burnley.
Can I just ask about the knock-on effect of the Ben White injury? Because obviously, I think you're trying to obviously be as brave as you can be. Declan goes to right back, but you lose a bit of control of the game. They make another decision. Martin Zuberman, who's come on, then comes off. But so you'll have it, I don't know, it's gut instinct, is it? You're just having to sort of read the game as it changes from what you wanted?
We were so dominant through what we wanted to do, and bringing Mosquera was going to give us something different. So I went for Declan, and on that moment, I don't know if it's because of the position, there are 2 actions that we suffer a little bit on that side. We have the opportunity at half-time because Ricky has to come off as well, which is painful. To make another change, we do it. And then at some point I had the feeling we have to change the game. We need 2 players in those pockets that are proper attacking midfielders. We went for it and we got rewarded.
Oh, just quickly, Calafiori was an injury, was it?
Yeah.
Any sort of length of
We
time?
have to wait and see with both of them what it is, but unfortunately, yes.
Okay, lastly then, what would you say about the resilience, courage, maybe even bottle your team has shown in the last week, 2 weeks?
Unbelievable, because that was a big week. I mean, we played for everything this week, and the way the boys have responded to the challenge and especially to the opportunity has been immense. But as well, our supporters, I must say again, how loud they were today, how a beautiful connection they have created with our players, and really thank you, because they make the difference.
Well done.
Thank you.
About Calafiori, he was taken off at half-time. Our understanding was at the time that was tactical, but Mikel Arteta saying he's injured, so hopefully they'll have him back as quickly as possible. Roy, I wanted to ask you a question from the perspective of being a manager, because when you're watching a game as a fan, like like Ian was today, when your team concedes a goal, it is absolutely sickening. When you score a goal, it is the best feeling in the world. What is it like as a manager there? Are you feeling those emotions, or is it more that you're trying to calculate what to do in those moments?
I think there's a bit of both, but I think we've seen the side to Arteta there where it's that emotion side of him. I usually, when he comes out, a bit like Pep can be sometimes, and it's kind of very robotic, and they're managers and they're in the zone or whatever. But his interview there, it's obviously relief. We've heard that from the players, but even from the manager, he's got a bit of a smile on him. He's obviously got a smile there to himself. He knows the importance of it. And there's evidence, obviously, he's got to be a professional. He's tactically trying to make decisions. He's obviously said he's acknowledged 1 or 2 things there, moving Declan, and then 1 or 2 injuries at half-time. So we use that phrase, roller coaster. It's extreme highs. When you go to goal up, I'm just thinking, listen, because we've been so solid at the back, then they concede an injury time. He'd be going through all sorts. So that's why we see these managers after games, they're absolutely drained. It'll be the same for the West Ham manager, the highs and lows.
So watching from one manager to another, how well do you think he is managing these incredibly dramatic, crucial moments?
Very well, absolutely. I think he's had good backing over the last few years, and there's been a lot of, obviously, criticism towards Arsenal and Arteta, obviously, and he's had that support. He had good recruitment again this summer, and the last few years when Arsenal kind of slipped up, it was because they're not mentally strong, they were weak and bottled it and all this type of stuff. So if people are going to be criticising for that when they were kind of slipping up, then we've got to praise them for what they're doing now. But even though they're doing well, it's like, oh no, it's a bit boring, it's a bit robotic, they're strong at set pieces. But yeah, that's the bit you were getting criticised for the last few years. So you have to give them all the praise. They've been patient with him. He's had the backing. But he's doing the business, so you have to take your hat off to him.
Yep. Did you fear, though, Ian, that he might have made a bit of a mistake in that first half with that positional change for Declan Rice, particularly, which did seem to lose Arsenal momentum?
Yeah, it just felt like Declan, being for me the best player, is not in the most important place for us, and that's in the middle, progressing with the ball and breaking things up and getting things going alongside Miles Lewis-Skelly. So
if that was a mistake, do you then praise him for actually finding that correction quite quickly at half-time?
Well, I think it had to happen because Declan being out there, it's when they started to build momentum in the game, because then Crescencio was able to get on the ball and get at him, and then they started to attack us down that side a little bit. So I was feeling at some stage, surely Mosquera, who is a right-back who's coming on.
Right-back, centre-back, yeah.
Right-back, centre-back. I'm thinking, well, that's the natural substitution to make, but for some reason he didn't make it. And then Declan could stay where he was, Miles could stay there, and then they could carry on playing. It doesn't disrupt the formation.
Yeah, but managers are entitled to make mistakes. Managers make mistakes all the time. It's just how quickly they learn from it and improve it. And then when you've really top quality players, you hope obviously they can cover for you sometimes. It's like players make mistakes all the time, and managers or coaching staff, they're entitled to make that mistake.
It'd have been interesting, right, if it played out differently. And
but which it has done the last few years, where they've been criticised, but now when they're getting over the line, then you have to flip that and go, listen, well done, you're getting the job done. And it's about being effective and winning football matches. And we've said it earlier, if you're going to win the league, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty something. You have to roll your sleeves up. They did that again today.
2 games to go. Burnley next Monday night. And this is what Arsenal's record looks like at home against Burnley. Lots of green W's in there that represent the victories, but let me draw your attention to the last 3 Burnley visits there. Arsenal have won just one of them, Jamie, which suggests this might not be the foregone conclusion, although Burnley are already relegated. They've got a point today that everyone thinks.
Oh, it is. It is. I've got no doubt at all they'll beat Burnley comfortably. Not even an issue. I've seen Burnley this year enough to know. I mean, they put up a bit of a fight today against Aston Villa, but no, they don't go to Arsenal and get anything. It'd be too much for them. Now, the Crystal Palace game, that's a slightly different one. But I don't think for 1 second they won't beat
At
Burnley.
Selhurst Park, that is Arsenal's record. Again, most recent at the top. 3 victories on the bounce.
Yeah, so those games are all fine, but what we're talking about is pressure like these players would never face before in their life, knowing that they can go and win a title. Roy's done it 7 times, Roy? 7, 8 times? Right, he's done it. I've not won it, and I know how it feels to not win it. And I know how pressure can take over you sometimes, and you make bad decisions. Certain things that feel so easy don't become that easy. And for the manager right now, he wants something so badly, and he's got his friend, but also his nemesis, chasing him down. They're not going to give you an inch, Man City. So...
But they've dealt with the pressure well this year.
They have.
The previous season.
But does it feel different when you get to this stage with 2 games left? You know it's almost yours.
It does, but when you look at your team and your squad, and you will look around, and sometimes in the last few years you've looked at their team and you're going, yeah, the team, and Odegaard was the main man, and Saka, there was no backup plan. There was always, well, if these lads don't turn up, we're in trouble. Yeah. But now you're looking at Arsene going, even if they're not the very best, obviously they didn't get over the line with set pieces. But what we saw today, the dream scenario for them, when they're up against it and 1 or 2 injuries, and Wright, maybe the manager will say, maybe I got that wrong. It's the players coming off the bench. We had it United. It's not about your starting 11. Never has been. But they didn't have that strength and depth. Their bench today.
Did you fancy, Roy, honestly, when they lost at City, you still fancied Arsenal?
Yeah, well, I certainly wasn't writing them off. I wasn't
not writing them off, but they've had
I still thought, they're doing a hell of a chance, of course, because I love watching Man City, but it's not the Man City from 2 or 3 years ago when they're definitely going to win the last 6, 7, 8 games, or whatever it might be. So I always felt them with a chance. And again, I go back to it. The one thing I kept looking at Arsenal's squad and going, there's enough there. And all these last 2 or 3 years where they've come up short, they were all, you wouldn't think at the time, are actually good experiences from. Yeah. You have to lose to win. So they will learn from the last 3 years, like we saw today. Maybe this time last year they might have slipped up, but you're like, there's enough belief about, again, the options off the bench is fantastic.
And we shouldn't forget, it's not just the Premier League trophy they are chasing, it's also the Champions League, the European Cup. This could be greatness bestowed upon Arsenal. And these are the only teams in English football history that have ever won the top division and the European Cup in the same season. Liverpool twice, 70s and 80s. Manchester United, of course, did it as part of that incredible treble Roy was part of, and again in 7-8, and City just 3 years ago. So, we talked before the game about what it would mean if Arsenal were to complete that extraordinary double. You actually said, I think, that they would go down into the greatest team,
I think so,
in Arsenal's history.
No, he said in football history.
I didn't pick you up on that, right? You go more than the Invincibles that went unbeaten in a whole season.
Yeah, simply because this team have got the capability of, if they can win it, they'll be invincible in the Champions League. If they can win that and win the Premier League, and that team, the Invincible team, as great as they were with their individuals, this team will surpass them with what they've done, because they'll have done something that team hasn't done, and they've got to get a lot of credit for that, for what they've been through in the journey to get to here with the manager. Obviously playing a very good PSG side, and it's going to be a real battle of styles, but they have got themselves there and they deserve to be there. They deserve to be where they are now because they've gone through it, like I say, for the 3 years. They've built this squad. They've got the players on the bench to help to come on and finish, like Mikel says, and they've done it up to this point. So if they can finish it off, which I'm praying that they can, of course they have to go down as the best team in Arsenal's history.
And even a bit of success what I had in our career at United, and you were looking at it was always the kind of fringe players came in at the end and got you over the line.
Yeah.
Because obviously fatigue can kick in and players playing lots of matches. But it's the lads, like Lewis Skelly's come in for the last few games, lads who haven't been playing recently. Saka's come back in after an injury. We saw Odegaard coming on today. Whereas the last few years looking at Odegaard, he's the main man.
Yeah.
And maybe the pressure took its toll on him. But he came on today for, and it's a different test for him, and he could deal with that.
There have been seasons, Roy, where this Arsenal squad have had more points. They got 89 and didn't win. They've scored more goals, almost 20 more in recent seasons.
Yeah.
But is it only trophies that define greatness?
Without a doubt. I think to get over the line, yeah. And don't worry, again, we're talking about previous totals compared to points totals. But when you get that league medal, there's no table on the medal. You know, it just says that you're the best team in the league that year, and whatever setbacks and disappointments you've had. And Arsenal had a big one a few weeks ago. You know, at City, 2-3. They bounced back well. They have bounced back from disappointments, and that shows for all their qualities.
They've learned from the mistakes.
Yeah,
and
there's plenty of characters there.
The greatest team in Arsenal's history, potentially, if they can get over the line in these
Big
two
call, right?
final
Yeah.
competitions.
Yeah, I'm sticking by that one.
But, well, VAR had their say. We've got 3 forensics of our own here to try and pick the bones out of the Royal Rumble. Roy, would you like to have the first attempt at this? West Ham have got everything at this point. They've got the goalkeeper, they've got the kitchen sink.
Yeah, of course.
It's all going.
I think, but again, the one thing you're saying when you're going up, because obviously VAR, they're going to check everything.
Yeah.
Do not put your hands on the goalkeeper. And certainly don't leave it on for 3 or 4 seconds. So when we saw the clips, obviously it was madness here. And there's loads of other fouls, there's all sorts going on. But because the goalkeeper had such a big part to play, I think it is a foul. Yeah. He's got his, and but he must know he must know they're going to check VAR. I don't know if he's proper pulling his jersey.
I mean, the first question is Pablo being fouled by Trossard?
There's all sorts going on, of course.
Honestly, it's like you see Declan was holding someone. It's like he was spooning someone. He's running with someone spooning. You know, look at Declan.
I'm told Ian that VAR checked the Trossard one.
To Debo, yeah.
Debo.
And they also checked.
Look at Rice.
They also checked that one from Declan Rice on Mavropanos.
But you're on about the discipline of going up.
Souček, look.
Do not give that foul away. I'd be really
that's a poor foul, yeah. But you know what, I think David Raya catches that simply. If he's not impeded, he catches that.
And Callum Wilson is so bright because you can see him there. Look, watch Callum Wilson. He just reverses all the chaos that happens, and he knows if that ball then falls to me. Looks awful by Saliba.
Yeah.
Puts it back into an area, and here he is.
Oh, brilliant!
Do you all think though that they've got to the right decision?
Without a doubt,
because this is one of the biggest decisions we've ever seen.
Oh, without a doubt, absolutely. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been given. Look, you can see it there, pulling him there, and then the arm comes across. Look, there's the arm. He can't catch it cleanly.
Roy,
there's a foul.
Yeah,
it's a foul.
It's a foul. There was about 10 in there, but that was the one that you're going to look at. I mean,
do you think it's because it's the goalkeeper?
You said Dennis Bergkamp.
Do you think, Roy, it's because it's the goalkeeper, and that's the one that's the
big
protected area?
Again, there was so much going on. There was chaos everywhere. But the impact I had on him, trying to obviously get his hands to it, his jersey getting pulled, his arms across his throat. Yeah, and he plays it well. Look at him. He obviously listen.
Yes.
He's an Arsenal player. He's going to make the most of it. Because as they all know, the goal's going to be checked. So if you do feel you're fouled, players are going to go down.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. So it's also a smart play from Arsenal, but I think really silly from West Ham. Whatever you do, don't go up and make such an obvious foul, because they're going to check.
Yeah. And the thing is, because West Ham are pretty good. I know they can concede at free kicks and that, but they are very good at them. They don't need to be doing that.
Yeah.
They don't need to be doing that. They've got enough. Look at Maverick.
It's wild, though, isn't it? Look at that. Look how many fouls are going on there, Ian.
I talk about pressure. You know, there's 60,000 West Ham fans in here that were willing them to stick with that on-field decision.
Well, yeah, but you can't just stick with an on-field decision if it's not right.
They did that. They had a lot of looks at it, didn't they? In terms of that clear and obvious.
I don't know why. Yeah, but why? Why did they have so many looks at it? You can see his arm is impeding David Raya.
The referee, the referee. It's not like he's just got to give decision. He's actually got to come out of his. It's like the wedding speech, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, he's like the best man. How nervous he must have been.
Very
we need a shot of him, because I think Ian needs a poster for his wall
alongside Bob Marley and Martin Luther.
But that is just the most dramatic end to a game of this stature as well, isn't
Imagine the last few minutes there for Arteta and his staff and all the fans when they're looking at that moment decision. Yeah, where we feel it is a foul, but you're still hoping maybe. And imagine a Man City camp and Pep and his staff and players and their supporters watching it. Again, the emotions for fans today. West Ham at the it was a crazy finish.
Tottenham would be happy up there.
Yeah. Cool. Well, maybe.
Tottenham would be happy, I think.
Not all of them. Let's get some more reaction, because I'm very pleased to say we can speak live now to the Arsenal skipper, Martin Odegaard, who's emerged from the dressing room to speak live to us. Martin, give us an idea of the mood inside that dressing room right now.
No, I think you can imagine. It was a big moment and a big win. Brilliant feeling, in there after the game. And we had to dig deep. We had to really fight for it. And, we got over the line in the end. So, really, really happy.
So is there a little bit of relief in there with the happiness as well, Martin? Because, crikey, you were living on your nerve in those final few minutes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we know what we're playing for. We know how important today was, and as I said, we had to dig deep. We had to wait for the goal for a while, and obviously with the situation in the end of the game, it's a bit of relief there. But yeah, the main feeling is just happiness, and yeah, proud of the team, proud of the effort, and yeah, it was brilliant.
You were watching a lot of it, of course, from the bench. What did you feel like your main duty was when you did get on the pitch?
No, I thought we started the game really strong. Beginning of the first half, I thought we looked really good and dangerous, created a few big moments, and then after that, I felt like they maybe took a little bit over the momentum of the game, got the game into, what can I say, their way a little bit more. So it was about getting that calmness on the ball and tried to make something happen. You know, they defend with 5 in the back, and it was really tight. So it was about finding that moment, and yeah, we did in the end. So really happy.
Ian Wright, I just wanted to say congratulations, Skip, on coming on and doing the business. How's it been these last few games and preparing for these last few games? Because it's been pretty intense, especially this one being so tough and have to get it over the line. How's it been?
No, it's been amazing. Obviously, we know what we're fighting for, and we fight for probably the 2 biggest trophies, you know, in club football. And yeah, that's a privilege and something we really enjoy. And yeah, it's everything to play for, and these are the best moments, you know. So we just enjoy it, and now it's time to get ready for the next one and go again, you know. So that's all we can do. So definitely enjoying it.
Martin, Jamie Redknapp, we're going to talk about the goal. Obviously, fantastic piece of play from you. You stayed calm in such an important moment. Just talk us through it.
Yeah, as I said, I thought we were struggling a little bit to generate something. You know, they were quite tight in the back there and defended well. So yeah, just tried to get on the ball, you know, take it forward. Was a nice little 1-2 with Deck, I think, and then yeah, found Leo in the box, and he's always good there in those moments, and always there for the big moments. And again, he delivers. So really happy for him as well.
How important was it you took those 2-3 touches as you arrived into the box, just to give Leandro Trossard that time to just reverse, and then you can play it to him nicely? Yeah,
no, I think that was crucial. I saw him and I heard him shouting for it, but I needed to get a better angle, and yeah, I managed to do that, and he put it in the back of the net. So brilliant. And a great moment. Just want to ask you towards the end, how much did you age in that last few minutes waiting for the VAR? I think it's worse, honestly, for the people watching from home and in the stands. When you're on the pitch, you're so focused, and yeah, obviously it was a big call and took a lot of time. So it's always a difficult situation to be in, but in the end, I think we got the right decision, and we got the win. So really happy. I'm interested to hear you say that, Martin, because we can see the replay, so we can get an idea whether we think the goal is going to be. The goal is going to be given or not, but on the pitch you're almost blind to it. So it must be terrible waiting for that moment. Yeah, I mean it's not nice, but I think when you saw the reaction from our players, we were quite sure that something was wrong, and yeah, all you can do is just wait. It's not ideal that you have to wait for so long, but yeah, I understand it's a big call to make as well. So yeah, that's football nowadays, and you just have to deal with it, and yeah, just happy we got the win in the end, and that's all that matters. So you have the advantage in this race with Manchester City. I'm sitting next to the Premier League trophy here in the studio, Martin. I know you can't see it, but do you feel it's almost close enough to reach now? Yeah, obviously we know it's only two games left, so definitely close. But I think, as we've said the whole season, and as we've done the whole season, is key now even more, I think, to stay in the moment and just prepare for the next game, get ready for that win, and move on, you know. So yeah, I think it's key to stay calm and just prepare for the next one now. That's all we can do. Well done. Congratulations, Martin. Thank you. Another one chalked off. Thank you for talking to us. Cheers, guys. Set the target, didn't he, Mikel Arteta? Win the last 5, 3 down, 2 to go, and this will be theirs. Hadn't won today, and they didn't win the league. I think a lot of people would have looked at that moment when he put Declan Rice at right back for 25 minutes and said that's one of the biggest, worst decisions you could ever see a manager make in such an important time. He has to sub Zubimendi. You end up playing Miles Lewis-Skelly at left back. All the changes you had to make for really what was a really simple one. Mosquera for Ben White, right back. Keep Declan Rice in the middle of the pitch. But you need a bit of luck. Yeah. He's got away with it. No one's really going to talk about it now, but it's done. And you sometimes make those decisions. And it was almost as if
like there was a moment, and we looked over, Roy said it, there was all the staff around him, and it was like, well, OK, what do we do? But to get to that point, it made no sense whatsoever. No. But what he did, in fairness to him, is he had the presence of mind to rectify it and go, right, half-time, we've got to change this.
Yeah.
You know, then he brings on Mosquera, eradicates that mistake, and then he ends up having to sub Zubimendi. That's not a nice place to be, doing that to a player. So you haven't lost him, but he's now got, you have to put his arm around him tomorrow. But it was unbelievable, and then they ended up getting the win. And also full credit for bringing Odegaard on, because, like the boy said, he had the big moment.
But the win covers all of that.
Yeah.
The win, for all them decision-making, managers getting decisions right or wrong and upsetting some players. But when you get the win, it's a lot easier to get lads back on side, lads who might be upset. So I think they kind of got away with one.
But would you have feared for Arsenal if that goal had been given, the West Ham goal?
Yeah,
in terms of the title?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
because of the manner of it?
The course at last minute, and you're talking about brilliant they have been defensively and keeping clean sheets. But if you're looking from West Ham point of view, we look at the earlier chance. That's all the manager would have wanted this morning. For all the preparation and sitting in, playing with a back five, you think if we get one great chance, because you do get chances in football, and this is...
3 big moments in the game. This is the first one, 78 minutes. Fernandes going through, Roy.
Like, why did he go through? He has to score.
You know what?
The keeper's getting all the credit, but he's got to score. My
What? This is what I said. This is, of course, David Raya's in the way to... He should not have any chance of saving it. I think that when you look at it from here, he could flick it into his right foot now. He's taken another touch there. Look, the goalkeeper's rooted. He literally can't move. If you play that to his right-hand side, he's rooted, but he's taken another touch and another one. He's getting closer, and he's rooted. He can't move. You've got to find a space with that. Look, there's a space here. Look, left. There it is. Look, another touch. Yep. Where's he going?
Don't you just sometimes have to say... Don't you just have to say sometimes it's a great save?
Unbelievable save. In that moment, he stayed up. He's managed to just
That's an amazing shot, isn't it?
He's flicked his right foot out. I don't know if we'll see it again. I know what you're saying.
We've got a striker here. Yeah, if he saves
but he's a midfielder.
James, he's a midfielder, but what I'm saying with that...
He's got quality.
James, the thing is that the opportunity with the goalkeeper he's finished there, the goalie.
You won't get a better chance.
You won't.
But
there's no way you can go there.
I'm not saying it's not a great... He should score.
Yeah.
But you also then have to credit the goalkeeper that he stands up, he makes him make the decision that he stays on his feet, and then he just flicks that right foot out. But I think that's an unbelievable save. He stays calm.
James, no one's saying it's not an unbelievable save, but he's given him an opportunity to save it. He should not have done that. And the quality of David Raya is... Look, he's rooted. One touch... That touch there,
right. Absolutely, you think he's got to go right.
Arsenal don't give much away, so when you get a chance like that,
you've got to take it.
The issue would be obviously a striker midfield. You've got to take it.
But this is pressure. That goal might keep West Ham in the Premier League. That save might win Arsenal the title. This is what it does to you. It was an unbelievable moment, but great save. And when you think back to him, and this is where the manager deserves credit, because when he first come, I was a bit like I wasn't sure about that decision. You had a good goalkeeper in Aaron
Ramsdale.
And I think, well,
but he wanted a better one.
Why are you going to make that change? But he's shown this year was definitely the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. Maybe
golden
the best in the world.
Save from the man with the golden glove. He's won that award again for the most clean sheets in the season. And is that a title-winning save potentially?
I said it at the time. It's still 0-0 and I said that's the save that wins you games. It wins you titles, because I don't think you can find any team that's won the league whose goalkeeper hasn't done something that magnificent. And as much as I'm saying he should have scored, he's been there to save it. You're not going to win it without a great goalkeeper, and it justifies Mikel's decision to bring him in.
Well, the great thing when you're playing and you're trying to win league titles, and you don't at your particular best, and your keeper gets you out of jail. We had it with Schmeichel. All the times, Pete, after the games, you're looking at Peter going, "You're the man," and that was that moment there. Huge. We saw it with City a couple of years ago. And
the Ortega one against Son, exactly the same.
Yeah. You could say again, was that a bad miss? Was it a great save?
Yeah.
But we know it was a huge moment, and everyone knows it's a huge moment. And West Ham it kind of would have lifted Arsenal and definitely set West Ham back when they know they're not going to get a better chance at that.
Maybe they thought that was their moment come and gone. 4 minutes, 30 seconds later, Arsenal are actually in front. This is the quality that you're talking about with Martin Odegaard now on the field.
When you look at him and where he's picked the ball up and how many touches he's had, look how many touches he's had. That brings people to you. That knocks people up. Look, they don't know where to go with him. He's moving. They can't stop him. 3, 4, 5, 6 touches. Then the nice layoff. That wasn't happening. We didn't have anybody to penetrate their line like that. But look at it, like Roy says, the 1-2, the best move in football, and then the calmness to play it to him at the pace that he needs to in the first
You look
time.
at it from the very start of the move, Trossard basically hardly moves.
Yes.
So sometimes in football, we talk about making good runs, 1-2s running off the back
Brilliant.
of people. What scores in some of these lads, you sometimes stand still.
Yeah.
Stand still and trust your teammates to open up a little bit of space, because from the very start of that move, he literally takes 1 or 2 yards.
Yeah.
And again, the little softness of the pass. And I think even then it gets a slight deflection.
Yes.
So you need them few little breaks along the way.
Can we see that again?
We will, yeah. I mean, the reaction tells you everything, because
beautiful.
they know it might only have taken 1 goal here, as it proved to be. But Jamie, what have you seen in there?
I just feel with Martin Odegaard, he doesn't get all the love I think he deserves from Arsenal fans at times. But I love what he does here because he stays calm. Little 1-2. And the most important thing is he gets his right arm out there and he just pushes away Juff. Look, you'll see it here. Look, it's a beautiful 1-2 with Declan Rice. So hard to defend. Now, that right arm comes out there, pushes him away. He waits, calm. And he just says, there you go. Because every defender is going back towards their goal. You can see Disasi's going back. Mavropanos, he's got to wait for them. Now, the space is now opened up for him to lay it back to him perfectly. It's a beautiful piece of play. And that's what you get with Martin Odegaard. People look at what he can't do. Look, the calmness, head up. There you go, mate. Finish that one.
And it still needs to finish, though. This is a guy in Trossard who's not scored in 2026.
Yeah, but he's
25 appearances without one.
Yeah, but this is again, this is the quality of someone like Trossard.
He knows.
You know what I mean? He does the job. But Roy made a great point. If you watch that, Trossard, sometimes you don't have to move. You don't have to move. You know, just know the football. You know that Odegaard will be able to keep that and get it to you. And he stayed there. And sometimes you can just stay still. And then I could say Odegaard's got the quality to play at a pace where he doesn't need a touch. He can just finish it first time. And it's still got a deflection, but it went in.
But even the little details there with Bowen, then you're on about attacking players getting back, defending, and he's just that. Yeah, I think if he can just smell the danger, I know he's an attacking player and he's on the wrong side. He's got to get back. You're on about making sacrifices, put bodies on the line, and just 1 or 2 players, West Ham players, kind of back, but not concentration levels, not just going that extra yard to kind of proper defend your goal.
And as you'd expect, given how the game finished from a West Ham perspective, his main point and his main complaint was that the goalkeeper, if he comes out that far, has to expect contact. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I think it's just the length of time that he has his arm across David Raya that's a problem, and the foul is on a keeper. I think if it's just on another player, it's fine, but the fact that you're holding the keeper like that down and you're stopping him, you're impeding him, I think your VAR is always just going to look at that. And that's why I think unanimously in here we believe that is a foul. You can see him here, he's got his left arm across his neck. It's a foul.
He's getting ready to catch it with his 2 hands. So the mere fact that his arms, my phone's blowing up with people saying it's not a foul, it's not a foul. He can't come and do what he does, catch the ball, because he's being impeded by catching it. He would have caught it, but his arms are being
his jersey's been pulled right.
His jersey's been pulled. It's one of those that it's so unlucky because of the gravitas of everything and the moment, but that is a foul.
He's very clever the way he makes the most of it as well. Of course.
There, look, that's a foul. He's trying to catch it. He can't move his arms anymore.
He can't jump right.
The other point that Jared Bowen makes is if you look at something for that long, you're going to find something. It was 2 minutes and 35 seconds from the ball crossing the line to Chris Kavanagh being sent to the screen, and then he was shown 17 different replays.
Right.
So I think it was 4 minutes 17 from the ball crossing the line to goal being chalked off.
That's the problem with... Go on.
No, but that's the problem with VAR, because we all know pretty quickly, and obviously they've got such a big moment.
Yeah.
But to look at that many times, obviously that's a bit... I think that's the frustrating thing for lots of ex-players or players or fans watching the game, because I think they did get to the right decision. It was very long.
David.
And you've got to be careful after the match. So the West Ham players will come out. Of course they're going to be frustrated, but that's... That moment's not cost West. They've lost 18 league games. Yeah, you need a few breaks, but again, when you go into the box because of VAR, whether you like it or not, they're going to double check everything anyway. Yeah. So the one thing you don't be putting your elbow across the goalkeeper for that long and grabbing his jersey, because they're going to call it.
You can tell he's been through that roller coaster of emotions today as well. As you say, we all watched the match just behind him and his staff. He's talking about some of the substitutions and the calls he had to make there today. There were some big ones, weren't there? I mean, first of all, to put Declan Rice to right back in that first half. And as you mentioned, Martin Zubimendi introduced, European Championship winner with his country, by the way, and the sub was then subbed off.
I'll tell you what, his face when he come off was I mean, to be fair, you should have a face like that. But you know what I think in the end, Mikel realised this is to win the Premier League. He's got to make a big call. And he had Martin Odegaard and Kai Havertz that he could bring on to affect the game. So I think he wasn't at his best, Martin Zubimendi, in that moment. I think it was probably the right call. But yeah, what a big call, what a big sub. So many moments in the game. You think about Ben White going off and Declan Rice at right back, Zubimendi, the double sub. It was like a film today. It really was. And we were right behind the bench when everybody was looking around, looking on our screen. What happened? Was that? Yeah. You know, it was quite remarkable.
Yeah. That was quite a pressure moment when the Arsenal analysts were asking us, what's happening? Is it a goal?
It's true. It's true. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all going to sleep pretty well. I mean, Mikel's hair hasn't moved as well. So, look, I think it's interesting because everyone was confused. Everyone was confused with what was going on. It wasn't clear. But I love the fact the connection, Mikel relates to, because that was what was missing from many years at Arsenal. And I think he's brought that back. And I think it's a major factor to how well they've been doing because, the fans are so important and they've waited so long. They've waited so long, 22 years, and it's nearly there.
And they were decisive managerial moments, those, weren't they? To get Declan Rice back into midfield, having put him at right back. Yeah, and the Zubimendi one is a huge call.
Yeah, we talked about it at half-time, and because as soon as Declan went into the right-back position, they sort of lost that control, and that's where West Ham were able to get back into the game and sort of become a bit more threatening towards Arsenal. At half-time, he had a big call to make, made it, got Declan back, and I think then he gained a bit more control in that first period of the second half. West Ham sort of climbed, battled with it and got it back again, but then he made the decisions, and you've got to as a manager, and as you said, because you want to win a Premier League. And although Zubimendi come off and he had his face was like thunder, he understood. I think he understood that he hadn't played his best, and he's realising that what a tough season it's been for him as well because of the amount of minutes, and it was the right call. And we haven't mentioned there's Madueke coming on. I thought Diouf's done a great job on Saka all day today, but when Madueke come on, he got down the line, he stayed wide, he kept wide, and that allowed Odegaard to get into them pockets what Mikel was talking about in them 10 positions, also allowing him to then play off Declan, as we've seen, for the goal. So he made some really big calls and good calls, and he's got the win because of them.
Yeah, and let's remind ourselves why Arsenal had to win today. The little bit of question was asked of them after Manchester City did their job on Saturday at home to Brentford by getting back to winning ways themselves, Owen.
I mean, Jeremy Doku, I'm not sure what he's been doing the last few months, but it's a lot. Honestly, he's been absolutely on fire. He's a brilliant dribbler, but his finishing has been absolutely off the scale. Erling with a little back heel.
Yeah, when you got these forwards in those positions, and Mamouche just finishing it off here, which is a fantastic finish, and he'll want to be really important, particularly next year. But it's incredible. Doku at this moment in time is so scary to watch.
They're not going away, are they, City?
They're annoyingly not. No, yeah.
However, City now know they've got 3 to play. They play next, of course, in the week at home to Palace. Arsenal have 2. I mentioned that was Burnley at home and Crystal Palace away. City with an FA Cup final, and then at the end of the month, of course, Arsenal with a Champions League final. So now, Owen, it goes back to City, and if they do not win again on Wednesday, then Arsenal can win the title against Burnley.
Yeah, but you'd expect Man City to win at home against Crystal Palace, but obviously you think about that for Arsenal after everything they've been through. Could win a Premier League and could potentially win the Champions League against the...
Got to be a good player to do that, Owen, haven't you? In the same season.
I wasn't going there.
I thought that was me teeing you up for it.
It was teeing you way off.
There's only 3 Premier League teams ever done it.
No, I would never say that. But I think for Arsenal...
Well, we would if we...
But what an achievement this could be for Arsenal. What an opportunity to win a Premier League trophy in the Champions League. Could be an incredible season for them.
Yeah, 3 wins away from immortality, these Arsenal players.
Yeah. I know
He's nervous now.
I am a little bit nervous. I was very confident before this game, but I just think it just shows this Premier League that it's every game you can't call it. It's not as straightforward as you think. And I agree, Crystal Palace, I think Man City should do a job on them. However, I can't see Arsenal losing any more games. That's the difference. That's the difference right now. But it's nervy times, really.
It is. But 3 wins, and you're in the Owen Hargreaves camp of winning.